Hello everybody, it's Joe here, and welcome back once again to my F1 23 My Team Career Mode. This is Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix. This is also a sprint weekend, so a lot of points up for grabs here. And I'll be honest, after the last couple of races I've had, double DNF and a no point score finish before that, I could really do with turning this season around and getting some more points on the board. So that is exactly what we're aiming to do here after a run of form that has been absolutely shocking. And we're going to start by trying to qualify well here. First lap in Q1, I'll be honest, it has been as smooth as a lap can be. And that's enough for P2, just behind George Russell. So relatively satisfied with that. And in the end, we ended up in P6 in Q1. So a lot to smile about there. There is pace in the car here, just not if you're my teammate who hasn't apparently discovered the pace that's in the car, and Hauger getting eliminated in Q1. Q2, again, another solid lap, and I'm really just... I enjoy driving this circuit. I enjoy the fast corners. It really is a nice flow for me. And we've demonstrated some good pace in Q2 that has got us into Q3. Here we are setting our lap. Lando Norris has just done enough to go fastest for the time being. What can we do though? We're completing qualifying. Where are we going to put our car? 9th. Q3 wasn't as strong as I hoped it would be, especially when we were doing 5th and 6th in the first couple of qualifying sessions. But P9, we can grab some points in the sprint. There will be opportunities, so let's get into the sprint with a positive mindset, and we are going to go from there. But for now, qualifying in P9, good place to be with Lando Norris taking pole for the sprint race.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Stroll, Sparkles, Gasly, Ocon, Magnussen, Albon, Joe, Bottas, De Vries, Hulkenberg, Liam Lawson, Hauger, Oscar Piastri, Tsunoda, and Logan Sargent. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
We've got 12 laps in front of us for this sprint race, so let's get it underway now! It's a good start from us, a decent launch. Perez didn't have the best start there, but we've got nowhere to go as there are cars side by side. And Pierre Gasly's having a little nip up my inside there, but I'm going to somehow get a better exit out in first corner, and we've got Pierre Gasly repassed. And I'm now having a look to the outside of Lance Stroll, no way through there, and Pierre Gasly zooming back past, but we brake a bit later, carry more speed around the outside of the corner, and we have got past Pierre Gasly, and now we're passing Lance Stroll, and simultaneously having a look at Fernando Alonso. Can I pull off a cheeky double move here? You'd better believe that we can. And we have, up into P7. That's a very positive start. Very positive opening lap. Although with all that racing the cars in front of me, the front 6 are already disappearing into the distance. So I wonder if there's going to be opportunities to catch them. And it looks like they're racing each other quite hard. So I think there are opportunities that are going to come to us throughout this sprint, and that's if Lance Stroll doesn't take a dive up the inside, which he did think about doing, but he wasn't able to pull it off in the end. Meanwhile, Russell and Perez, are they side by side? No, I think Russell is tucking in behind Perez, And I think Perez is racing somebody else. I can't quite see who that is. No, that's just Perez doing Perez things. Right, Russell's now dropped back a bit, so this should enable us to take P6. We're going down the inside for turn 1. Are we going to be able to pull this move off? That Mercedes looking pretty quick in a straight line. But we've taken a dive up the inside and we have moved up into P6. Russell and Stroll, the two teammates, now racing each other as I stop trying to make my way toward Perez. And is he going to get close to Lando Norris? Norris is about a second and a half clear of Perez. I was just wonder, is he going to be able to make it any closer? Meanwhile, this is Nick De Vries, who's still without a helmet, retiring from the sprint race. So not the way De Vries would want this race to go, and he is out. Right, we are now gaining on Leclerc, Perez and Norris, because the three of them, they're all busy racing each other. And this can present opportunities to us here. So while these three are going at it, I am just bringing myself into the fight here. Alonso's got past Stroll and Russell, so I'm not sure what's going on with Russell. I think he might be having some car issues there. But we are now right behind the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. And are we going to be able to get through with a bit of late braking? Not quite there. But now we've got a nice tasty run with the DRS and with overtake. Leclerc covering the inside. I'm going to try and take to the outside of the Ferrari driver, braking as late as I dare. Leclerc holding the inside line, and we're now side by side coming round this sweeping right kink. But I believe I've got past Leclerc. I have got the move done. I have moved up into P5, and now we are chasing down Perez and Norris, who are scrapping over third. And once again, those two at it again with Norris down the inside of Perez. They've made contact and they're banging wheels. Is there room for a third car to squeeze on the right? Yes, there is. Just about the width of an F1 car. And we have got past them both as we now do some late braking. That is a brave move. We pulled that off and are now into the top 3 of this sprint race. I can hardly believe my luck at this stage. Oh my goodness me, that was a move and a half. But now we need to set after Sainz and Verstappen, who again are racing each other as we reach the final lap of this sprint, and they've done exactly what Norris and Perez have done. Is this going to allow us through? We've got a nice double slipstream that is working out for us here. Verstappen getting past Sainz. Am I going to be able to pass Sainz? Yes, and I braked super late, and we've taken Max Verstappen as well. On the last lap of this sprint race, we have taken the lead here. I've gone a bit deep there though, and that's going to allow Sainz another look. Sainz is still pretty much up the inside. I give him room, Sainz backs out. Oh my goodness me, what a final lap of this sprint we are having. But we are going to win here in Austria and take a first sprint race win of this F1 23 My Team career mode. What a drive to the win. And now that puts us in a brilliant starting place for the main event, in that we are now taking provisional pole for the Grand Prix. Driver of the day, P9 to P1. That was a mighty drive. A few brave overtakes here and there. But you know what? I will happily take it. So we're going to see the full results here once I advance, and it is Waters, Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, Norris, Alonso, Stroll and Leclerc dropping to 8th and the final point scorer of this sprint race. George Russell falling down to 12th with whatever issue he had. So a bad day for George. Great day for us though, and also a good day for Carlos Sainz, who manages to retake the position from Verstappen. Perez and Norris were scrapping all race. Alonso, Stroll and Leclerc 6th, 7th and 8th, and Dennis Hauger P21. But let's just have a look at that dive bomb right at the end. I had to hold my breath there, I admit. But we got through into the lead, and now it's time for the Austrian Grand Prix.
Austrian Grand Prix. Not long to go before our drivers hurtle off the line and into the first turn. the Niki Lauda curve. It was renamed in 2019 in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sparkles lines up on pole position, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Leclerc, Gasly, Ocon, Bottas, Russell, Joe, Magnussen, Albon, Liam Lawson, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Sargent, Oscar Piastri, Hauger, and Nick De Vries. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
We won the sprint. Can we win the feature? 36 laps will decide that, with rain coming in this race too. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a mega start from myself. Sainz and Verstappen are battling each other for second, but we've got the start that we needed, and look at that, we're already 8 tenths clear, while the guys behind me are scrapping amongst themselves. And you know what, if they could do that for the next 36 laps, I would be very happy to carry on this race. I would be quite happy to do a full Verstappen in this race and just absolutely dominate it. But it's going to be very difficult to hold the lead, what with the cars behind me being that bit quicker than me. But for now, we are leading at the end of the first lap. Sainz has caught the gap down to 6 tenths after the gap being as high as a second. So like I said, it's going to be very difficult to hold this lead, but we're going to give it our best shot. Behind us is Sainz, Verstappen, Norris and Stroll, your top 5 at the end of lap 1. Heading into the right-hander there, clipping the apex beautifully. Sainz and Verstappen second and third. No real scrapping going on behind, unfortunately. So they are coming after me, and we've got a Haas pulling off to the side there. I think that's Alex Albon out of the race. I'm not entirely sure. But one of the Haas's pulling off to the side, and Carlos Sainz is now right on my tail. And Carlos Sainz is having a look, but there's no way through there. Carlos just having to wait, and he's going to have a better chance of a look here, but he's lost time, getting it a little bit wrong out of the first corner. Alonso and someone else are swapping places, so I'm not sure what's going on there. We've gone very deep into the corner, and now Verstappen, Stroll and Alonso all getting into it for 4th. That looks like they're having fun. Sainz now coming down my inside. Carlos getting the lead. I'm going to try and force him tight and go around the outside. That is exactly what we've done. Sainz not getting through yet. That battle for 4th still raging on, but again we've got to change for position because Carlos Sainz has gone down my inside, but I'm going to try and use this exit and get the DRS here, which we have got. So Carlos, a little bit foolish getting past me there, knowing that the DRS zone is just here, and I'm forcing my car to the inside and getting that move done. But we've gone deep, and now Sainz up and undering me and getting the move done. We are side by side as we head into the left-hander. I've got to clip the grass. I've clipped Carlos Sainz, and we've gone into a half spin, but I've just caught that, and I do recover, but we have lost P2. Well, we've lost P2. I've forced Stroll wide so we don't lose P3. But in one fell swoop, the race lead and P2 are gone. So now we're fighting over P3 when Sainz and Norris are disappearing up the road. And, well, my obeying of track limits rules are also disappearing. Right, here comes Lance Stroll having a look down the inside. So too is Verstappen. I give room, but they're causing their own traffic jam there. I'm not quite sure what was going on, but I'll take it because it gives me a couple of seconds of breathing space, and it gives me a few laps just to rethink this race and think how I'm going to hold back the charging Stroll and Verstappen, who are right behind me. And indeed, it only takes a couple of laps to catch back up, and Stroll has got the move done. I'm going to try and do what I did to Carlos Sainz and get it done down into the hairpin here. So we've got DRS, we've got overtake. Let's drain the battery, or what left of the battery we have. Stroll goes very defensive. I'm going to try and sweep round the outside. Stroll holding his own there, but getting very wobbly on the exit. And I'm just going to give him a little bit of a squeeze here. And that is P3 retaken. But I'm starting to feel like these soft tyres are past their best. And Sainz and Norris have just disappeared now. They are well and truly gone. As Lance Stroll goes down my inside, gets the place. I now once again have a look at retaking him. And he didn't even get a great exit out the corner. And that's just allowed me a look down the inside. But again, the straight line speed of the Mercedes not making it easy for me. But with a bit of late braking, we have gone past them. Well, braking just perhaps a little bit too late there. But we have retaken P3. Stroll and Alonso right behind me in 4th and 5th. And I'm starting to think about tyres. So I'm pitting in now for mediums, because I think that's going to be the tyre I need to take me until the rain comes. And I know that there are going to be drivers that will pit in for hards. So I can use this as A, an advantage, and B, an attempt to get a cheeky little undercut. We're right behind our teammate Dennis Hauger, and well, I say right behind, we're about 2.5 seconds behind him, but we're going to catch him relatively easy with the advantage of the brand new tyres that we have taken on. And believe me, in this game, the advantage of the new tyres, well, that's one bit of realism that they've put in the game. And we have got past some of the guys we were racing. Sainz is now 5 seconds ahead of us, so the undercut, we have caught Sainz through that undercut, and it looks like it is getting a bit darker out there, so that rain that is on the way, it's coming, it's coming. Right, lap 19, and now it has well and truly clouded over, and we are waiting for the rain. Sainz, Perez, Norris are your top 3. Perez, I don't think, has made his pit stop yet, and that is why we're catching him easily. But if the rain comes before we can catch Perez, that call has really worked out for him. And in fact, the rain does come before we catch Perez, and that Red Bull driver is going to be feeling pretty pleased with himself that he made a set of medium tyres last 20 laps. But it's time to change for intermediates, and that's exactly what we're doing. We are now down into P4, but Verstappen and Leclerc quite a bit behind us, as Leclerc stayed out really quite late actually. So Ferrari strategy once again being Ferrari strategy. Leclerc has ended up quite a bit behind me as we now pit in for a set of intermediates. And you know what? Please give us a smooth pit stop, and that is exactly what we've got. A smooth pit stop, and back into the race we go in P4. Lance Stroll deciding to stay out another lap. I don't know if Mercedes have hired Ferrari strategists for that particular decision, but Stroll staying out another lap, as is Gasly. So they're ruining their own races there, but you know what? I don't object to that, because if that can hold up Verstappen for me as we go very deep into turn 3, if he can hold Verstappen up a bit for me, I will be fully appreciating that. And in fact, Verstappen will have lost a few more seconds, as he's nearly 10 seconds behind us now. But Stroll and Gasly both pit. We're in P4, and we've got a red flag! Oh, that is brilliant news for me, because that puts me right back in the fight. We have got a red flag, and as I understand it, Pierre Gasly is out of the race. I don't know how that happened, but I'm not objecting. I'm not objecting to this at all. Let's confirm our strategy, and let's get back out there. Right, here we go. Restart is away now, and Sainz goes to cover Perez. Norris goes to cover me. I move straight away to the left. I'm going to try and go around the outside, use the better grip that I have. And that is now P3. We're up into 3rd, back into the podium positions. That red flag has worked a treat for me, because now I'm back attacking Sergio Perez for P2. Sainz and Perez are now side by side. Sainz has not got a good exit from the corner at all. and we're just going to breeze past him. Up into P2, now pressuring Sergio Perez dead ahead of us. Are we going to be able to make anything of him? It's very, very slippery now as the rain really starts to fall, but we are sitting nicely in P2, putting some pressure on the Red Bull. We're going to need to apply a bit more pressure if we're going to get through though. And I am just looking through the wall of spray that Perez is kicking up. Is there a way through here? I think so. He goes in tight to turn 3. I think we've got a good exit here. I think we've got a very good exit here. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be bold. We're going to have a look to the inside. I'm going to get one shot at this. And we go down the inside using a bit of curb. And we take the corner. We take Perez and retake the lead here in the Austrian Grand Prix. The lead that we had in the opening laps, we have now retaken. Am I going to be able to keep Sergio Perez behind me though? It's going to be very difficult. But in these conditions, this car is coming alive. So the wet weather really helping us here. And the rain really starting to come down now. The track getting very wet, getting very treacherous. And just keeping it on the road is starting to become a bit of a hazard in itself. But we are managing, and Perez is just over a second behind us, so we're keeping the gap around that point. And in fact, we had no further drama in that race. Perez just not able to really catch us, and Sainz in third, not really able to do much about Perez. The gap has just come under a second now, but it's the last lap, and barring any silly mistakes from me, I can't see this going wrong now. Hopefully there are no silly mistakes. There is none. Heading to the final right-handers now. This has been the perfect weekend. We won the sprint race, started pole for the feature race, got a fastest lap, and now in a rain-soaked Austria, we win the Austrian Grand Prix and our first race of season 2. Oh, get in there.
Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack, and having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
The faces on our top 3 look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all. Our championship leader is still
3 races of 0 points, and then we come here to Austria to a sprint weekend and we get a full house of points. We get 8 for the win, for the sprint race win, 25 for winning the Austrian Grand Prix, and a bonus point for the fastest lap, a full 34 points from this weekend, and ironically taking more points in this weekend than we had in the entire season beforehand. And there's the race result. We won, Perez is second, Sainz is third, then it's Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Alonso, Ocon, Hülkenberg and Bottas rounding out the top 10. So it was Albon then that dropped out at the beginning. Dennis Hauger making his way to P14. Not too shabby. I would have rather him be in the points. But a happy weekend nonetheless. And we move up from 28 points to 62. Doubling our take in one weekend. And moving up to P7 in the standings. Alonso holding on to the lead still, with Sergio Perez in second, Sainz third, Verstappen fourth, then it's Russell, Leclerc, myself, Norris, Stroll and Nick de Vries still hanging on to 10th in the championship, with Magnussen and Hauger in 11th and 12th. Hauger on 18 points. Don't forget he got those points in China at a very early stage of the season, and we have extended our gap handsomely to Haas. We are now on 80 points. That was a brilliant weekend. Could not have asked for anything more from that race weekend. Well, thank you so much for watching this installment of Career Mode. Please don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you are new here and you want to see more new content from me. Until the next time, I've been Joe. Let's have a look now at what caused the red flag. This is Pierre Gasly. He looks like he's about to pit. And, oh, he's lost it and he's taken a Ferrari with him. And Gasly's got into the wall. I'm not sure which Ferrari he took with him there. I think that's Charles Leclerc. It is, but yeah, they both collide and Gasly going into the wall. And that's what finished his race. Right, guys, thank you for watching. TTFN, ta-ta for now.